For whatever reason, he was on the unrestricted list, and we heard through the grapevine that he'd be willing to move, and so we contacted him, I guess. I wasn't in that part of the story. Asked me, would you like to have JD? And I went, duh.
Powcast Sports.
I don't know what he's going to say. He's not going to be ready for a while, I guess. You don't decline a weapon of his ability, even though he's 35 years old. He still, has a great body. Granted, he's been injured off and on throughout his whole career, and that's always the key for him. If he can stay healthy, he is one of the premier players in the league. So you can't decline that chance to add a premier player like that to the league. And for whatever reason, he was on the unrestricted list, and we heard through the grapevine that he'd be willing to move, and so we contacted him, I guess. I wasn't in that part of the story. That was totally from the management side. But they asked me, would you like to have JD? And I went, duh. Of course. But again, we know he's not 100%, and we're going to try to get our rehab people with him and see if we can get back and play with us. And we think he elevates our game. It'd be fun to see him and Art and Scotty all playing together. Joe, I think Dillinger's a really good passer. He can shoot threes, and he's a top-notch defender. He can run the floor really well. Again, all those things are given if his health is there. So we'll have to see again about his health. He hasn't been to a practice yet. I haven't seen him. I spoke to him for maybe 30 seconds on the phone. That's all the contact that I've had with him. So tomorrow when we get a practice together, we'll show up and we'll take a look at his rehab stuff and see where we can help him to get healthy. I don't expect him to practice for at least a number of days. I can't put a number on it now because I haven't spoken to him, but I don't expect him to be in practice for a while.
Expecting to play this conference?
That I don't know. I'm hoping. Again, I haven't spoken to him about his injuries. We haven't looked at his MRIs and all the stuff that have been done to him. So we got to learn his rehab program. There's still a lot of work to be done before we can get him on the floor and playing. And we realize that. We think that's worth the gamble with him. And why not? We're always in a win now mode in this organization. So anybody we can add. Look at the Warriors adding Durant and Cousins, and look at around the NBA and all the players that if someone comes free, you go get them. You can. And he was basically a free agent. Anybody could have gone. But and I don't know if he spoke to other teams or not. But I'm just happy he chose to come with us, despite saying he doesn't like the Nuggets.
What do you see as in your situation, like Art, your team waited for 2 years and then...
Well, we're certainly reaping the rewards for our patience with Art, right? Of course, Art was 24, 25 years old, so that's a little bit of a difference in that regard. But if it takes a couple of months, and again, I'm not sure it's going to take that long. Could possibly be longer, but again, it's worth the gamble because when healthy, he is a premier player in the league. I think we all recognize that. One of the premier two-way players in the league, offense and defense. And I love those kind of guys.
Coach Tim, just wondering if you can share some reactions of your players when they knew about Jared Dillinger.
We have not discussed it amongst the players yet.
Especially Joe and the guys that they had the Twitter.
LeBron was playing against Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, you know, they weren't exactly friendly all the time, but when they got together, they learned, and now, you know, he's part of the family, and it'll be on JD to make sure that he, you know, tries hard to fit in, and it's going to be on us to you know, open our arms and let him come in. Again, he can only make Joe better. He can only make the other guys better, and hopefully lead us to championships. That's the ultimate goal. I really don't think that's going to be an issue. I think if you know Joe well enough, you will know that that was all tongue in cheek.
Saying JD to bring pizza.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll cheesesteaks, either Coach Kirk's cheesesteaks or pizza, maybe both.
Step up your game and subscribe to Powcast Sports now. Powcast Sports.